So say you're starting your plumbing career right now. Wouldn't it be nice to know what to expect?
Me and my God always conversating. He say I'm happy you call, what you been up to lately. I said the
Now, when I'm thinking back and when I first started, I had no idea what to expect. I just jumped into it. I heard they were paying, I jumped into it. I took the classes, I got what I needed, and just jumped into it. When you jump into something, you kind of just stumble your way through it. And then years later, you figure out, well, this is like what happened to me. You're stumbling your way through it, just figuring out. You're always learning, like what's going to happen next, what's going to happen next, until you finally journey out. And then you're like, man, okay, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. I'm here now. And now what? Had I had known what to expect throughout my through this plumbing career, at least in that first 4 years of the apprenticeship program, I would have done things a lot different. So today I wrote a book for you guys that we're gonna go over. I'm just gonna present it to you guys, and that's called, Don't Be Green. And I wrote this book for just what I was talking about, so people can see their future and plan ahead. Like, hey, it's nothing like being prepared, man. Like, I don't care what you do. If I learned anything over these past 11 years, it's that planning is everything. Don't just jump into something. Have a plan, okay? And there's, for so many reasons, we should always have a plan. And this is what I hope that this ebook helps you guys to do, is to plan ahead and actually have a plan that is going to fulfill you as a person, as an individual, as a plumber, throughout your career. Don't be green. All right. I wrote this book because, pull it up for you guys. I wrote this book so that you guys can see ahead, but also to know, like, man, there is a saying that goes on in plumbing, and it's called, for a person who doesn't know what's going on or just learning and doesn't know anything, they call them green. When you start off as green, you know sometimes they label you as that and they treat you as that, and that's not always the case. It's not that you're just green all around. It's just that you were green. You could be green in certain areas. Me, when I started off, I was green, period. I wasn't mechanically inclined, so I had a lot to learn. I felt like I was always learning, and I never got to the point where I was just like owning up to everything and stopping the whole green thing and just taking charge. You know what I'm saying? You're only green if you don't take charge. So I wrote this book so that you guys can have so that you guys, when you guys start out there in the field, that you're not just looking around, you know what I'm saying, and trying to figure things out. Like, you guys have a sense of what to expect and what's going to happen next, so that you guys can look like you came prepared and like you kind of know what you're doing, like you've been here before, right? In a nutshell, right? And not necessarily like the whole ins and outs of it, but just basically as an apprentice through your 4 years, the basics, the very, very basics. And if you can get those, man, you are going to have a way better experience if you know something than going into it and not knowing anything, because they will let you know if you don't know something. Who's this book for? It's for new apprentices. It's for people who decided, hey, you know what? I want to jump from this career and get into plumbing. I like to use my hands. I want to go out there and do that. That's for you guys too. And it's for people who also already have been in the trade, all right? Because you can always learn something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still learning. I'm telling you. And don't ever think that you're going to learn everything, all right? That's the first thing. That's just an extra tip for you guys. Don't ever think you're just going to learn everything. Things are changing all the time, so you're constantly having to problem solve throughout your whole career, right? And the sooner we get that locked in, and the more smoother your experience as a plumber will be. So yes, this is for new plumbers, aspiring plumbers, people who want to get up in there and don't want to look like they don't know what's going on their first day. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but I did not like that. But you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you guys won't like it either. I'm pretty sure, who wouldn't want to go in there knowing what's up? We'll do the content overview. So the intro, I start off with talking about, like, where are you now opposed to where you want to be, and for me and my story, it was like I was working at Del Taco, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, I was able to, you know, support my wedding, support my family, my girls. So it took me from where I was, and it was a dream, as far as where I am now, because where I was and I was looking at this like, man, how am I supposed to do certain things? How am I supposed to get there? You know what I'm saying? How am I supposed to do this? What job is going to pay me enough to do this? And when this opportunity came about, man, it was a, man, if I had planned it right, it could have been even better than what it is now. And it's good now, but it's just that, you know, when you don't know and you're just kind of figuring things out as you go, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as financially, like, man, I could have done things differently, but we'll get into that. So what to expect, and are you capable of performing the tasks, the duties that are going to be at hand as a plumber? Plumbing is no joke, man. You're constantly, well, construction, you're constantly lifting things, pipes, you constantly, you know, lifting fixtures and stuff. These things are heavy, you know what I'm saying? So we want to kind of just get you to a point where you know what they're going to expect of you, you know what I'm saying? Before you jump in this, know that it's just labor, you know what I'm saying? Construction is labor, man. It can be brutal sometimes, but you know, they have safety things out there to help you to do it the right way, in which a lot of us don't, because we want to go in there like myself and think we, you know, Iron Man, and go up in there and just like, you know, lifting things, and then you pay for it later on. All right, because it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Like, some people just be like, look at this book and be like, all right, cool, I'm glad I knew this, and then, you know, probably want to do something else. Other people will be like, hey, I'm with it. I want to do this. You know what I mean? Me, I love it. I love that aspect of just being able to get out there, throw things in the hole. Like, you know, I'm a man, like working with my hands. So I mean, for me, it's just naturally that I like to do that stuff. So I know there's other people out there like that as well. All right, next we're going to talk about where to begin, right? So what you need to even start, the schooling, the tooling, the car, all that stuff. What do you need to even start? Okay, so you decided, all right, I want to get into this, but now what do you need to start? All right, because if you don't have these essential things, these 3 essential things, and I talk about a couple things, a few extra things in there, but if you don't have these things to start off with, you are going to be, it might not work out for you. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to have these things. So I just keep you aware of it. You know, of course, you don't have to be you don't have to have graduated college, you know what I'm saying? Which is a good thing, man. They're giving you an opportunity to earn while you learn. The apprenticeship. All right, so now you decided, okay, I'm going to go through with it. The apprenticeship is where you go to get tested, where you go to basically your interview of interviews, right? Because this interview is going to open doors for your opportunities with other jobs. All right, so you have to pass. If you're going in as an indentured plumber, you're going to have to pass the test, and you're going to have to pass the interview portion of it. All right, also getting the job. See, this is one that I like to throw in there, because you've already passed the test, you passed the apprenticeships interview of you, and now you're going to have to go into these jobs. Now, I think in my opinion, these are way different. Okay, so the apprenticeship school, as long as you want to be there, you're feeling cool, like, man, this is what I want to do, you're going to pass that interview. It's going to take a little bit more for these other interviews, for the actual companies who want to hire you, because some of those companies are like, look, we don't play any games. We need people who are knowledgeable, who are up to par. And so I talk a little bit about that. The day one, man, it's a visual walkthrough of what it's going to look like the day you step out there, man. Imagine that if somebody gave me a visual walkthrough of what it's supposed to look like, because I was lost. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, okay, what is a foreman? Okay, what is a knack box? What is a bin? Like, you know what I mean? Like, these are stuff that I just didn't know, and I'm sitting here like, yeah, meet me by this old knack box. I'm like, you know, this is something they do all the time, and it's just natural language to them. And you know, when they say it to you, you're like, all right, cool, all right. So what side is that on exactly? And then they'll have to explain, you like, oh, okay, I'm guessing this is what it means. You know what I mean? They're like next to the pipe, and you're like, I got it. Getting certified, man. Like, I didn't take advantage of all the certifications that I could have got. You know what I mean? So that's definitely a part that you guys don't want to miss in there as well. I talk about the journeyman, the foreman, the GC. Who are these people? What are they? What do they do? One thing I've learned after 11 years, man, is understand everybody's role. the more you understand their role, the better you can do your job, because you understand what they expect of you, and you'll understand when it's going to come down hard on you if you don't do something right, because it's going to come down hard on your journeyman, which is going to come down hard on your foreman, which came hard on you because of the GC. So if you understand, the chain of command and who's who, it makes it a lot easier for you to get out there and shine, right? And then we talk about the payday. So we got the payday in there, of course, how you get paid, but also, like I said, just food for thought, of how to think about your money, how I wish I would have thought about my money. I got a little story in there that I told that was, about some financial mistakes that I've made, that I wish I could take back, but I'm still paying for this till this day. But at the same time, it's like, you live and learn, you only get better. But yeah, man, I talk about the mistakes I've made in the past that I don't want you guys to make. So a couple little tips and tricks, tips for you guys in there too as well. All right. And then the conclusion, man, like, what type of plumber are you going to be? If you decide that in the beginning, before you get into plumbing, man, I'm telling you, it's going to position you in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? And you are going to flourish from the beginning. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like I've said, you try to figure things out as you get into this, like you're just going to be bumping your head against all these walls, man, all the way through. For the majority of us, for the average person like myself, like, I needed all the help I can get. So I'm hoping that this book brings that to you guys. I hope it helps you guys. And if it does, man, let me know. Like, man, thank you for telling me this, because, if I didn't even know this, man, I would have had to go through this, and this. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm coming from a place of experience, a place where I was like, man, I've made so many mistakes, and I would just hate to see other people make this mistake. And I'm always out there trying to help other people. Like I'm all about apprentices. Like, you know what I mean? Like for me, myself coming up, I always treated apprentices with the utmost respect, because they're the ones who get it the toughest, because first of all, you're learning, and second of all, you have to learn the right way. And all these guys, they don't have a teaching background or a mentoring background. You know what I mean? They just came out here to plumb. They know how to do it right, and they're gonna teach you the best way they know possible. So it's always good to have people who have your back out there, who are supporting you, and you know what I mean, can tell you when you're doing right. Because most of the time, people like to tell you when you're doing wrong. Nobody likes to tell you when you're doing right. And this is one thing that I observed growing up in this apprenticeship, that I encourage myself to do with other people, is to encourage them and push them, you know what I mean, to keep on going and not let little things bother them, man, and and just be the best that they can be. Because no matter where you are in life, man, you're always going to get hit hard. You're always going to get setbacks. And, you got to just learn how to keep going. And it's good to have a good, positive community around you that will support you and push you into being the best that you can be. So don't be green, man. If there's anything I could tell you guys, man, just don't be green. You know what I mean? You can avoid that by reading this book here. It's free. Make sure you guys download it in the link below. And like I said, let me know your comments, man. I hope you guys appreciated it. This is Life in Plumbing. I'm Nate. Hit me up if you guys have any questions. I'm Nate. I'm Nate. Hit me up if you guys have any questions, and let's talk about it, man. For the ones that did hit me up, man, that you guys are getting in plumbing, think about getting in plumbing, man. And I wish y'all the best. I've been reading the comments, man. I wish y'all the best, man. Get out there and be your best. You know what I'm saying? Be out there and be a craftsman, man. Do your best. I'm telling you, it's going to take you a long way. You know what I'm saying? Like, learn the basics, man. Don't think you just go out there and make it happen on your own. You need a team. So learn to work with your team, man, and really just come together and give somebody a great product. You know what I mean? If you start on your stuff, if you start being on your stuff earlier, you know what I mean, it's going to be nothing for you to be on it later. You know what I mean? Do it now than later, man. And you guys are going to shine, man. So congratulations for those who did get into the apprenticeships. Let me know what y'all think about it, what you guys don't like, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll talk about it. All right. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Me and my God always conversating. He say I'm happy you call, but you've been up too lately. You said the reason I call is how my war was Satan, and I'ma need your help to get through this. Lord, please eradicate it.